Viewer, behold, today I bring you Dragon Quest XI Definitive Ultimate Edition or whatever. So this game is a recreation of the second game, and it actually came out for the DS a while back, and then they did it again and released it again, and this time on console. I never played any of the Dragon Quest games. I was more of a Final Fantasy guy growing up, but I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me try out these Dragon Quest games. So for those of you who want like the quick gist of it, like the quick summary, just a quick let me know so I can get the fuck out of here. This game is a hardcore JRPG, and I mean hardcore in the literal sense because you have to fucking grind in this game. This game requires a lot of grinding. I'll get into that when I get into the gameplay, but this game is a super heavy grindy game, but the story in the game is also like magnificent. Now, do I recommend buying it full price? I don't think so, to be honest. I would say wait for it to go free on one of your pluses or Game Pass, or wait for a sale for like 10 bucks because this game may not be for everybody. Okay, so for those of you who don't know about Dragon Quest, it came out in like the 80s, and it was like one of the original JRPGs. You know, like this game and Chrono Trigger are considered like the like pioneers of the system. And this game, I'm doing this at the perfect time because they're making the new one, which is based off the third game. But I think they're gonna do what they did last time, which is they're gonna make it 2D, and then they'll make the definitive edition, which will be like 3D, like this game. Which I guess I'm gonna wait for the definitive edition one because the 2D system was cool, but I kind of prefer like the 3D. I like moving my character around and stuff like that. I'll get into that more in the gameplay, but that's kind of like the info. I just want to give like some information on Dragon Quest. Oh, and also all the monsters are designed by Akira Toriyama, who, if you don't know, that's the creator of Doctor Slump and Dragon Ball Z, all that good stuff. He's the creator. He sadly passed away, I believe. I want to say either this year or last year. So rest in peace to him. And you know, that's why like the monsters in these games are really cool. Sometimes I wish we had more monster choices, but instead of the recolorings they do. But I understand you can't make Akira do all make so many designs. He can only do so many designs. So the gameplay of the game is your typical turn-based JRPG, and for those who don't know what that is, I'll just say what you do is you pretty much walk around and you'll get into a turn-based battle, and when you're into battle, you'll have an option which is attack, magic, spells, or like run away or something, and you have to pretty much tactically choose your moves and pretty much defeat your opponent. Sometimes opponents will have like special abilities, or like there'll be like certain things that won't be able to hit them. But in this game, that's not really the case. Most of the time, you can just hit anybody with any of the characters. There's none of that stuff like in Final Fantasy X when you have to switch walkers to hit the range, hit the flying opponents. You don't do any of that. Also, and the way also what they did, which I think is pretty interesting, is they added like kind of like auto battle, which like you can set your characters to fight wisely, and if you set them to fight wisely, they'll just fight by themselves, and you won't even have to like control them. They can just do whatever they need to do. They actually they made the AI pretty good, so they know what they're doing. You know, there are times where like you don't want to like focus, so you set them to fight by themselves, and you set them to auto battle, and you just like go and have a snack, and you just come back while and the enemies are dead. And it's really useful for when you have to grind, because in this game you have to grind. This game is all about like this game is a huge grind fest. I will say that, and I don't mean that in like a offensive way. I'm just saying like you gotta get ready to grind in this game, because like if you try and like run forward and do the story and stuff, you're gonna have a really bad time. You have to like take your time, run around, fight any enemies, like fight the enemies you see through the way. You don't have to like keep fighting them, but like if you want to stay at a higher level than you need to be, then yeah, you have to keep fighting. If you just fight everybody, it can be annoying because the monsters keep spawning back. So you think that, okay, as long as I keep going at them, they'll eventually disappear, but no, they're just gonna keep respawning. And because of the system of the game, it allows you to choose when you want to battle, which I think is the best part. Because that was really annoying about JRPGs, is that you take fucking 3 steps and then You know, you get into a fight and then it's like, all right. But this game fixes that mechanic by giving you the option to fight whenever you want. Now the problem with that is that sometimes you don't want to fight, so you just run through a bunch of shit, and then you get to a certain boss, and this boss is like beating the fuck out of you like you're a little bitch, which happens, and that means when that happens, that means, all right, I gotta go find some fucking, I gotta go grind. Now they do have metal slimes. Now metal slimes are like XP, like ultimate loot boxes, I want to say, because like they give so much. Like the regular ones give 10k, the vicious ones give like 30k, and the kings will give like 70k XP, and that's a shit ton of XP. That can actually help a lot, and that can just literally one slime can level a character. But the problem with the metal slimes, and this annoyed the shit out of me when I tried to like grind up really fast to fight this Calamitous guy, like this really strong dude. He was in your dad's like armor. That's all I'll say. Um, um, he I had to grind really hard. I had to fight a bunch of metal slimes to grind up, and it was really annoying because these metal slimes kept running away. Like every time I found a metal slime, he would just flee, and that would just like drive me freaking bonkers. But other than that, that's why I'm recommending to you to make sure you stay grinding, because you don't want to put yourself in that scenario. Because this almost actually ruined the game for me. If I'm not even gonna lie. It almost made me want to stop playing the game. But luckily, I powered through it, and it's got one of the best stories I've played in a game in a while. Like I'll talk. Let's just get into the story. I feel. Oh wait, no. Before we get into the story, let's talk about items and whatnot. So items in this game are also very important because they have healing items like potions and whatnot, except they call them like antidote or medicine or something. And they have like shops where you can buy armor and weapons, and they also have a mini system where you can like forge your own stuff. And the forging stuff was kind of difficult to understand at first, but once you get it, it's pretty easy, and you can just easily make +3 weapons all fucking day. But the items are really important too, because I don't know, I feel like I explored the game a bunch. I could not find any good weapons around. I found like a couple knives for Eric, but I was using the great sword for my character, so I couldn't find any good great swords. But luckily, I you can just buy them off the shop. So, and you usually have a lot of money in this game. There's also a banking system if you want to use the bank, but I only put like maybe like 40, 50k in there. Like you get a lot of money just by fucking fighting enemies. If you just grind and fight enemies, you won't ever have to worry about money. So I recommend buying from the shop. If you feel like you need to upgrade, if your character needs to upgrade, just go to the shop, get some weapons, get new armor, and just upgrade your character stats. And that should be enough to help you, especially when you're trying to grind. It'll make grinding just a bit easier. You can also like level up your character. Like when your character levels up, he gets points, and they have like a sheet where like character, like I told you, my guy uses a great sword because he has multiple choices. He has sword, great sword, and I believe knives or some shit. I can't remember the third option. And luminary, which is like his like class, and like you spend your points and get skills that help make you better at that certain thing. So I did great sword, so I would have great sword block. I would have helicopter, which is like I attack all enemies, and I would have like cutting edge, which is like a really strong great sword attack. But I only have that because I spec into the great sword tree, if that makes sense. And other characters have like other trees, so you can actually have different playthroughs if you want to give them different weapons, but it's nothing. It's not. It adds just a little bit to make it kind of unique, but not really. Oh yeah, so the way another fun thing about this game is the way the saving system works. So when you save the game, you have to go to church. So you have to go to church, and there's always like a priest or like somebody there, and they'll like say, okay, okay. And saving in this game is called confession. And I always thought that was pretty funny because like I just imagine your character talking about all like the mobs he slaughtered to get XP. He's like, I killed this guy, I killed a tribe of these guys, I totally genocided these guys, and I slaughtered these guys in the name of the Lord. And it's like, oh, you're forgiven, and flock the sheep and all that shit. And I thought that was, that was like a little, that always made me giggle when I thought about that. Um, but yeah, that's it for like that's it for like the gameplay, the outside combat stuff. The combat stuff I kind of went over. The combat is like typical JRPG. You got your smash, you got attack, you got spells. Then you have overdrive, which is like it's like your special. In this game, it's called Pep. Your character goes blue, his stats go up, and like if two characters are pepped up, they can do like a combination attack, which it's actually really cool. It's like the supers of the game, and they can help change the tide of battle, or you can use them to like. There's also this method where like you can pep up Jade, Sylvando, and the hero, and you can do this thing where you can turn all the enemies into metal slimes, and it's like a cool, quick way to get XP. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's just better just to hunt the metal slimes than just do that, because by the time you get them fucking pepped up and they do it, the metal slime might fucking run away. And if the metal slimes run away, then you just wasted your fucking time doing nothing. So yeah, that's why, like I said before, just grind and do that shit. The pep stuff though is really cool. The characters are really cool. I'll get that in the story though. Now, the story of the game is kind of generic, where it's like your character is the chosen one. He's chosen by the gods, and like he has to go save the day. The story of the game starts as like any typical story. Your character is the chosen one. He's doing his coming of age thing, and now he's gonna go. And then his mom tells him, "Oh, you're actually like a secret baby. So go over here. And when you're an adult, I was always gonna told you to go see the king. So now go see the king." So you go and you go see the king, but it turns out the king thinks like you're a demon, and he says that you are a piece of shit and he wants you dead. So puts you in jail. Like the first thing is you go to jail, and that's where you meet your first companion, Eric. And well, he's not technically the first companion. The first companion is a girl in the village named Gemma, and I actually liked her a lot. I wish she was a companion, just because whenever you fight, she's like cheering you on, like she's like, "Go on then, go on, get him, go on then, go on." And I always thought that it just made me laugh every time I fought people. And I would have loved for her to just be in the story, like if I'm fighting with like Jade and like Veronica and Serena, I just bring her in, and she's like, "Go on, go on, come on." I just look at it. But yeah, you meet Eric, who is the first real companion. He's like a thief of the game. Uh, he's like a pretty cool guy. He's like kind of like a envious character who's like, "Oh, you're the chosen one. I wish I was the chosen one," shit like that. But like you'll see later that he gets some crazy. He's also, I think, one of the best companions, because he has like this move called Doppelganger, which is like, for anyone who knows. But yeah, you meet him and then you go off and you go on the adventure, and then you find out that you have to find these orbs, which are like the Dragon Balls. And you gotta find the Dragon Balls and get them together. And you meet your other companions, which is your white mage and black mage, which is the twins, which is Veronica and Serena. And then you have your bard, which is Sylvando. You have the monk character, which is the old man, which is my favorite character. And then you have the fighter, which is Jade, which is she like raised you as a baby, so she's also a nice character. Yeah, but like as you progress and you learn the characters, you learn their stories, you actually like you develop a lot of feelings for these characters, and you care about these characters a lot. Like I will say they did a great job with that, because like you want these characters to, by like when it gets to like the mid shit, you're like, oh damn. And I feel like they did a great job, like kind of like adding, like getting it crazy, like making it crazier and crazier, to like where like the story just keeps going up and up, and it's just like, oh shit, how are we gonna win, man? What the hell is going on, bro? This guy's dogging us right now. It's like, god damn. I don't want to get into spoilers. Maybe I'll get into spoilers later. But like the story in this game, like it just keeps ramping up, and then like it gets like a really crazy, like it gets like they, I won't say the spoilers, but like it just gets like wild, and it just gets wild and fun, and I feel like the game itself is worth it for like just the story alone. But like I said during my gameplay thing, like there's a lot of grinding. I feel like there's like at least like 30 hours of story and like 20 hours of grinding, if I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of like the downfall of the game, or why I didn't like I said, like, oh, I didn't enjoy the game as much. But like what kept the game alive was the story, and I enjoyed the story a bunch. But that's all I want to say about the story for now. Let's talk a little bit spoilers real quick. Let's talk about a little bit spoilers. So the fucking spoilers in this game. Uh, okay, so this game gets fucking crazy. So you like, so remember the king that stopped you? Well, it turns out he's being possessed by this guy your grandpa knows about, and your grandpa knows about him because your grandpa knows he's like the ultimate evil Mortigan, and like he talks about him a bunch. Like, let's talk about Mortigan. We'll always have to worry about Mortigan. And it turns out the king was Mortigan. Oh, and not was, but like he was possessed by him and was forced to do what he wanted to do or some shit like that. And so that's why it's like and then when you get to you finally get to like the master sword, which is called the sword of light in the game, and the second you're about to get it, he just comes in and turns the master sword into fucking Soul Edge from Soul Calibur, and like just fucking turns the world into complete chaos, destroys Yggdrasil, just fucking fucks everything up, and it's like what the fuck. That's when I was like, holy shit. That's when I was like, holy shit, this game is not playing around. I thought like we were at the very ending, like I was gonna get the sword, do the final fight, hey, we're done. But no, dude, this game's like, oh no, there's another 20 hours of this shit. And 15 hours of grinding. I was like, 20 hours, cool, 15 hours of grinding. Ah, wow. Yeah, it was crazy. Then at the end, like you got then they bring fucking like dude, Veronica dies. Your black mage dies, and you get like a super mage because Serena gets Veronica's powers. But anyways, she comes back later because you go back in time and like you had to fight like you go back in time and then your guy gets named Hendrik, the ultimate fucking knight, and then like fight Kalasmos, who's like the ultimate god of darkness, and it's just like god damn, this game went nuts. And I feel like it was just cool. It just kept ramping up to getting crazier and crazier. And instead of being like, yeah, it's too much, I was like, wow, this is really fun. So it was awesome. That's it for story spoilers. This is what I say, like my true thoughts on it. That's why I feel like that's the only reason why the game was finished, because I was gonna quit, like probably right during Sylvanas solo journey. But I was like, fuck it, I already spent so much time on this game. I may as well just finish it and try and get this review out. But that's all I want to say about the game. The game was enjoyable. The grinding parts had me throwing my hat on the floor, but like other than that, it was a fun game. It was I'm upset that I'm done because I wanted to be in the world a little bit more, but I guess then I'll wait for the next one that they're coming out with. So the bottom line of the game is I give it a 7 out of 10. So it's good, not amazing, not holy shit, but it was good. It was good, and I enjoyed it all the way. Like just like give it like a good solid thumbs up. It wasn't like an amazing experience, but it was an enjoyable experience. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the designs. I didn't enjoy all the grinding, but it was fun. And they do take it easy on you by adding the auto battler mode, because I bet they knew there was too much grinding. They fucking put the auto battler like it's a mobile game. It was funny at first. I was like, why would they even add this? Like, don't you want to play when you play a JRPG? Then I was like, oh yeah, I definitely see why they added this now. Okay, but yeah, that's it. If you liked the video, hit the like button. That does a lot. That helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button. That helps me a bunch. That lets me get one step closer to becoming the world king of domination. But yes, that's it. Thanks for likes. Thanks for the watch. Peace.
And after you'd just done your rousing speech, too. Talk about more.